So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the pre-event press conference of FIBA EuroBasket 2022 Group D in Prague. For the fourth session, I welcome the head coach of Netherlands, Mauricio Buscaglia, and the team captain, Worthy de Jong. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
before getting their statements, I would like to remind you that your phones should always be in the silence mode, and your masks are on. That's good. And we can now get started with the English part. Coach, I would like to get your thoughts on the EuroBasket. Netherlands is not known as a basketball country, but you're here representing the country. I would like to get your thoughts.
Exactly, maybe not, but we want to be. Now in the finals, we want to be the best version that we can after one long trip that started together 3 years ago, when the first summer camp together, then guy, and now is a really sweet ending for this journey. So from our side is a proud, from our side would be one big challenge, obviously tough game, but we want to play with an incredible spirit on the floor, because it's one very important moment of our history. It's one step for the basketball movement after one new league, the BNX, after one new trip with the national team, after a lot of things. So we are ready to fight and enjoy this particular moment.
Thank you, Coach. And Captain, can you tell us a little bit about your excitement for the upcoming games and a few words maybe on the game tomorrow against Serbia, as they are one of the title contenders?
Yes, it's been a journey, you know, since we arrived in 2015 for the first time in I think it was 25 plus years. It is a true pleasure to be here between all these great teams. The group of guys that we have right now are motivated guys that are that have been here in 2015, and new guys that have joined us over the years. This experience is for some new, and some it feels like, you know, another round of great contenders. For me, the game tomorrow is going to be a very anticipated game for us. Serbia is a great team, has great players. It's going to come down to an extremely high team effort, which we know we can bring up to compete against teams like this. We've played one of our last games against Spain, got our respect from Spain, and that is what we need to work on. You know, we need to grow our respect around these big teams in Europe and across the world. So excited.
Thank you, Worthy. And now we can get some questions from the media. Please always state your name and the media you're working for.
Josh Halleckman, sports rabbi for Worthy. Can you talk a little bit about the journey over the past few years with Coach Buscaglia? Specifically, I spoke to Coach last week about this process, and the fact that you just mentioned playing Spain, and the fact that you played against these high-level teams, trying to make that mark. Expand a little bit on that, if you could.
Well, if you look back to 2015, where we had, I would say, our highest contenders at the tournament. After that, as Coach joined, these teams kept on getting added. Higher level teams, we gained respect. So even though our successes weren't there all the time, we kept on growing as a team. Our successes don't determine how good we are as a team yet, but our growth is there. And I think that's one of the most important things that we have to hold on to as a team right now. Coach has been really good at getting the players ready, making them better, feel comfortable. So I think that where we are right now is a place where we should be all the time. And it still has work. There's still work to be done, but I think that he has given us a lot over the past few years. Seeing that we qualified again for the European Championships for EuroBasket. So yeah, nothing but respect for Coach.
Hi, Arjen Veld, iBasketball Holland. This is for Woody. Woody, you're rounding off your illustrious 5-against-5 career at this tournament. You were there in Zagreb in 2015. I think one of the days you even made the All-Star 5. You have a lot of experience at EuroBasket and at the Europe Cup. In your leadership role as a captain, what do you tell the younger guys, maybe the do's and the don'ts, maybe some practical things to succeed in this year's EuroBasket?
I think one of the most important things is for them to enjoy this ride. You know, for a team from the Netherlands, it doesn't come around every year. It's not guaranteed to make it to EuroBasket. So when you're there, make sure you enjoy it. Ask questions. You know, if you feel like you need to know something or you have a question, make sure you ask that question. And prepare yourself the best way you can. In practice, you know, do the things that coaches that, you know, if coach tell you something, try to be ready for that. Work on your skills. But I think what I think is the most important thing is to have fun, you know, enjoy this moment. Yeah.
A question for Coach Busaglia. Talk a little bit about your captain, a veteran player, someone that has helped lead this team and helped you in the process of building the program over the last few years, if you could.
So, you know, is a one in this summer is a different step because so we build one perfect combination between older players, who play more with the national team, and younger. Exactly what Woody said before. Some of players are the second one, because it's the second European finals in 35 years like this, and younger. And it's one very important step, because it's one like is one challenge inside the challenge. So for one side is one preparation. From one second side is how is possible involve younger, new talent people. And technically, we have a guy that are perfect fit for the team in a role. And some of role who we missing a little bit, and we struggle a little bit. So it's really, from my side and our side, is really good. The refreshing is from one side refreshing, but from the other side, one step up technically, tactically for this team. Or with my trip is always the captain from the first days, and we work outside, out the floor to keep the group united, you know, to involve the new guys in the habit and the national team atmosphere, because you know, like me, that when you play with the national team, you play differently. Not only for the tactical and technical side, also, but it's really different.
Hello, good afternoon. Nenad Đurović from National Serbia Broadcast Corporation. Question for Mr. Mauricio. Could you give us some expectations about tomorrow's match against Serbia? Do you feel as underdogs in that match, and do you feel some additional motivation comparing with who you play against? Thank you.
We are underdog in the life now, only tomorrow. So we have to play always like this. And the enthusiasm, the motivation, the passion, the spirit that we have to put on the floor wants to be great, you know. And this incredible Serbian team too push us to do that, because it's one pleasure play some of game like this. Don't forget never, because it become one habit that the ball is one, the game is 40 minutes, 5-on-5. So it's most important, try to compete in every single moment in the small details like 50-50 ball, fumble, box out, you know, energetic stuff like this. And every single second, and we enjoy and we live with pressure, because the self-pressure, the positive pressure is important in one locker room, in one team. First one for our job, because we want to move up better and better our basketball, and will be important for the next of the tournament too, you know, because it's one game, one night, one game, one night, different game playing. We have to be able to change, you know, our game playing and our style, but from the same side, it's most important keep one line. What we want to be on the floor, how we play the Netherlands team like this, to build one small brand that we have to do from now to the future.
I'm sorry, could we hear the response on the same question from Mr. De Jong? Thank you.
I think Coach touched on a lot of things. You know, we a tournament with these big teams. Sorry, with these big teams, we are guaranteed to be the underdog. So our game plan, our tactics, and everything are never going to be enough. We have to outwork them. We really have to hit the floor with a dog mentality, and you know, we damn near have to get dirty at times. It has to be on the edge. Like Coach said, you know, starting from 2015 till now, it's always been the underdog situation. And to be honest, I feel like that's a very comfortable spot to be in, you know? It has so much room to prove that we can grow and become one of the main contenders, not only here, but, you know, someday on the World Cup level. So it's going to take time. Seeing tomorrow is Serbia, and Serbia is one of the favorites. I personally thought we were the favorites, but no. But I think that this is a step in the right direction for us. You know, keep pushing the limits, keep competing as much as you can, keep fighting, outworking these guys, and then the results will, you know, show by themselves.
You know, every single step that we did in this summer is for this way. You know, is the reason because we play with the great opponents. We want to compete with national team that we cross in this summer to push ourselves at the limit, to know our limit and try to go. In my opinion, is the only one way to improve, like a national team, step by step.
Do we have any other questions?
Nikola Lalovic, Mondo, Serbia. Question for both of us, both of you. Sharon Clough played in ABA League, so did he provided some input, like not so much into qualities, you all know qualities of Serbian players, but more on the mentality and the style of basketball that is played in Balkans and in Serbia?
I think so that could be a little bit different. Is a good point that he feel the challenge. It's a good point because it's one experience. We have a player that are now in the past and in the future will play in a very high level championship like Charlon did. And I think that could be one chance to put himself in this kind of challenge because so the beautiful side of basketball is a bit different too, you know, and like mentality, like style of play. For us, like Worthy is one main player. From his performance, we can do better. And I see you with a good motivation for this round and this game.
Any other questions in English? Oh, you haven't answered the question.
You want my answer? I mean, I think that you know, he brings experience, and he will give his input where he can, if he sees it necessary. The experience he gained playing at those levels, he will apply for himself too. So, some way or another, it'll come and help the team.
Any other question? In Dutch, maybe? Any questions? The coach?
In Dutch for me, perfect.
Okay. So we can conclude the press conference then. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow versus Serbia at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good week.